Shopify gives you a lot of numbers about your products, but metrics don't explain themselves. One of the worst things you can do in e-commerce is tell yourself the wrong story about a metric and try to fix a problem that doesn't exist. In this video, I'm going to show you how to analyze your Shopify products with AI without writing a single prompt. Hello everyone, my name is Ryan. I've been working with Shopify stores since 2014. I've had my own e-commerce businesses and I've worked with hundreds of merchants, from stores just getting started to some of the top brands on Shopify. And one of the things that I've seen over and over is that merchants don't have a data problem, they have an interpretation problem. They can see the numbers, but the problem is understanding what those numbers actually mean. Data does not equal understanding. Metrics can tell you what happened, but they don't necessarily tell you why something happened. The danger is creating the wrong story from a metric and then making decisions based on that story. I had a client that came to me once and they were like, hey, something is seriously wrong with our conversion rate. Our conversion rate drastically took a dip. And I looked at their data and what it showed was that they had an influx of bots. So while their conversion rate was tanking, they actually were doing really, really good in sales. The bots were just polluting the conversion rate. But the client was thinking, we have a serious problem with our website. So it's really easy to see something like a conversion rate drop and say that something is wrong with the website or with the product, but it could be a lot of different things. Bot traffic could be distorting the sessions. Maybe you're scaling your Facebook ads and it's getting out to a wider audience, but in turn, the conversion rate has dipped a bit. These are all things that could happen, and it's very easy to make the wrong assumption and just say something is wrong with the website or something is wrong with the product. But when you dive deeper, that may not be true. One of the common things I've encountered with clients is that they focus on top line revenue. They're like, oh, our company is doing $50,000 a month or $100,000 a month or $200,000 a month. But when you actually crunch the numbers and you look at the data, you're seeing a lot of margin leakage everywhere. So it's easy to see the number go up and say, oh, this business is doing healthier just because we're getting more sales. But are you actually retaining profit? Sometimes you'll even get a combination of things like high sales, high returns, but a lot of repeat purchases. It's easy to turn that into a binary question like, is this a winner or is there a problem? But oftentimes a story about a product is much more nuanced than that. The goal isn't just collect more data. The goal is to understand what the data is actually trying to tell you. And this is where AI can help a lot. And what AI does is it allows you to look at different signals together instead of looking at each individual metric in isolation. For this workflow, we're going to use PinkyBrain. PinkyBrain is an AI Shopify app that I developed that helps merchants analyze and improve their product pages. So we are in the PinkyBrain dashboard, and the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to pick a product. If we look at all time, we have total units purchased 96, total units returned 60, that's actually pretty high, and total revenue $48.9 thousand. What do these numbers actually mean? And so what we're going to do is we're going to run a product analysis here in PinkyBrain to help better understand what these numbers are actually trying to tell us. It says the product, the multi-managed snowboard, shows a complex performance picture. With 96 units purchased and a high return rate of 62.5%, it indicates significant friction post-purchase. Despite this, the repeat purchase rate is strong at 66.7%. It says the dataset is strong enough to identify these patterns clearly, and the product appears to be more mature given its sales history. So let's dive deeper into this. We have behavioral insights. Customer behavior indicates that while there's an initial interest in product as seen by the purchases, there's a significant drop-off post-purchase. The high return rate points to expectation gaps rather than lack of demand. Then we have a content quality assessment. It says the product lacks a description, which means customers likely rely heavily on the title and imagery to form expectations. Then it talks about customer feedback and post-purchase signals. It says that there are several issues such as defective items, color mismatches, sizing problems, and style mismatches. So this product has a ton of issues. Customers might feel misled or unsure about the product's attributes, and that customers may struggle to choose the correct size without adequate guidance. Next is product market fit signals. It says demand for the multi-managed snowboard appear warm, with interest from returning customers indicating a potential hero product. However, the return rate suggests friction rooted in customer understanding of the product rather than the product itself. And then we have a maturity context interpretation. All right, so now we have a high-level overview of what's going on with this product, and we found out a lot of useful information. We can actually dive deeper on the product to correct these issues. We could generate a couple product descriptions and A/B test those and see which one resonates most with customers. I'd also run an audit on the actual product page itself. The point here is that instead of just reacting to one metric, the analysis gives a clearer understanding of how the product is performing overall. If you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more Shopify optimization videos. If you'd like to try PinkyBrain, it's available in the Shopify App Store. There's a link to it in the description. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.